that chin nod, ears over shoulders, over hip bones, soft knees. I am in turnout here. So this is a foot intensive piece. So I'm going from turnout, back to parallel, turnout to parallel. And it's my femurs rotating externally and then back to parallel in those hip sockets. Okay, let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. We're gonna go back to turnout and then just lift on up. So our calf raises and turnout. Ignite that back line of your body, activate through your abs here. Really use that exhale to pull belly button to spine. And we'll go 4, 3, 2, 1. Then take it up to a faster pace here, up and down. Try not to let the ankles roll in or out. Knees are still lined up over that first and second toe when you lift. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now we're gonna take it out to your right. I'm gonna go out to my left, and then coming on in, and out, and in. So straight legs, scooping in, pointing on out. Pause out here, add a little bit of a squat, and out, out, and in. 2 more, and 1 more. Good. Now we're going to go out to your left. Pointing the toes as you go out, sliding it as you come in. Nice big inhales and exhales here. 1 more, and then we'll add on that plie. Okay? And out, and plie. Arms can go to the sides of the room, or they can make the circle in front of you. Good. All right, we're going to continue with the plies here, but 2 to each side, and then reverse. All right, and here we go. And out, and out, and other side, and other side. And then we switch again. Go out, and this will be the last set here, and out, and out. Okay, you're going to go out into that wide second position. And then go into your plie and lift your left heel 4 times. And then your right, 4 and 3. Hands on hip bones just to have a sense of being upright. And then we're gonna go 2s and 2s. I am not pitched forward. I'm standing tall in this bench shape. Okay, and then 1 more set of 2s. Good. Okay, from here, take your arms high, and then you will squat in this second position. Sending your booty back, getting that back line of your legs and maybe your quads to fire. 3 more. Straightening the arms out in front of you. Try and get those elbows straight. Last 1, pause here. Arms come down to the ground, straighten your knees, and then back into that squat, okay? We'll go 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Arms come up again, and then small little lifts here. Trying to get the back line of your body all fired up. Arms belong to the shoulder blades, and that's where the muscle work should be. And we've got 3, and 2, and 1. Straighten on up. Bring your feet together, just a couple of prances here. And then let's lie on down in supine. It's nice to have those sliders near your feet because we'll use them in bridges. And then I always have this guy nearby as well. And I'm gonna start with just 6 chin nods here into the mat, reaching my fingers towards my feet, just getting my mechanics set up. Careful not to flare the ribs as you do these. Okay, and 2, and 1. Okay, first, let's bring the right leg into tabletop in the left palm. This is your upside down bugs and diagonals. We're looking to get that core nice and ready and working. I'm gonna press the palm and the knee together and then out. Now my 2 limbs left on the floor. I want to press those into the floor. Okay, and we've got 4, 3, activation and stability, and that was the last one. Switch your diagonal, right palm, left knee, pressing those together, mostly pressing the palm into the knee. 2 limbs on the mat, those press into the floor, and in and out we go. And find that oblique sling in the front of your body from left hip pocket to right armpit. Want those obliques firing. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Both legs come into tabletop. Go ahead and imprint the spine into the mat here. It's much harder to have the knees at 90 degrees. If your back's bothering you, bring your knees in just a bit. Still press into the mat here, and then you'll go for your heel taps. I'm starting small, making sure my low back is not engaged and my core is doing all the work, creating that lumbo-pelvic stability and bringing the foot up. And as I'm more confident, I'm gonna bring the feet further down towards the floor. And we'll go 6 and 5. Check that it's low abs. Check that you haven't arched your low back. This is the last set of 2 and 1. Good. Okay, feet come back down to the floor as close into your bottom as you want for bridges. Press into the palms. Check that you haven't brought the shoulders forward here, and reach towards your feet. And that's a great place to start a bridge. At the top here, check your weight bearing on your shoulders and your ribs aren't too high. Lower is one piece. When you land, make sure you haven't left the thoracic spine behind. Make all those adjustments so that you land in neutral with your mid back and your shoulder blades on the mat. And then fire up the booty as you lift up. Get those glutes working. And we'll go 2 more. This last one, I'm going to pause here in the top, take it into typewriters. We're going to do 2 more sets of typewriters. Knees stay about the same place in space. Okay, and then pause, take it down one more time. Hug knees to chest, do a little check-in on your low back here. Do some knee circles or knee stirs, both directions. And then if you think your back is doing pretty good today, change it up into mobility style bridges. Still using my lats to help activate and stabilize in that bridge. And 1 more mobility bridge up and down here. Okay, I'm gonna grab my sliders, 1 for under each foot. I have to roll up my mat here so my sliders don't stick to it and they're on the carpet. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of extra hamstring work. If your hamstrings are already cramping, I'd say do without the sliders. And you're gonna lift and lower here. And then pause. Let's send the right foot out 4 times. Really scoop in through the hamstring to come in. It's the last one on the right. And now on the left, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and 4 more on the right and 3, 2. Check your rib cage hasn't popped up. And 4 on the left, 3 and 2 and 1. Coming on down 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's bring right ankle over left knee to create a figure 4. Bring that shape up into tabletop here. And just do a little stretch, check how that all is. And then we're gonna take it to the other side. So left ankle crosses in front of right knee. Good. And then you come back on out. Okay, leave your legs in tabletop or bring them into tabletop. We're going to start our ab curls here. As you come down, make sure your head is supported by your hands here. A nice little check to do, okay? And it's keeping that airway open, like I'm holding an orange between chin and chest. Gonna add on a second breath or pauses. Exhale, come up. Hands come around one at a time. Exhale, pull deeper. Inhale, hands come back around, hold it, and lower. Inhale, prepare, exhale, up. Inhale as hands come around. Exhale, pull deeper, send those shoulder blades low. Inhale as you come back around and down. 2 more, please. And down. 1 more. All right, upper ab, curl up and pause. Straighten the legs. If the neck gets tired at any point, you can lower it. On inhales, we lower our feet. On exhales, we lift. Going for a total of 10. This one is very similar to those heel or toe taps. You don't want to let that low back arch, particularly as the feet go down, okay? If you want something in the middle, make it really small up here, or bring the legs back into tabletop. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, pull deeper through the belly. See if you can get the shoulders more off the mat. And this is 1. Stay up here if you can with me. We're going into single leg stretch. Opposite hand and knee connect and switch. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You hug the knees to chest here. You can also be resting back here. We're going to take it into double leg stretch. So I'm going to start from my upper ab curl. Shoulder blades are depressed down to my back pockets. Reach to the sides of the room. Circle the arms deeper in that ab curl. Inhale, exhale, come around. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, legs are going to return back down towards the floor. They don't need to be on the sliders. We're going to bring the right ankle over the left knee for figure 4 again, and 10 bridges just off of the strength of that left side. More difficult when you bring that heel closer into your bottom. Okay, and we've got 6. Try and keep those hip bones even. Don't let the right side lag. This is 4. Also, don't let the waist shrink on the right side. And 2, and 1. Straighten that leg to the ceiling. All right, immediately if you feel like this is too much for the low back, come all the way down. Otherwise, you're going to do small circles here. Okay, and reverse directions of those circles. 2 more. Awesome. Lower all the way on down. Okay. Establish a nice connection into the right heel and into the ground, and then left ankle over right knee. And we're lifting and lowering here. Trying not to let that left side lag, and that right back line of the leg is your workhorse. Press into the palms to help yourself out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pausing here, straighten that leg to the ceiling. If you're worried about your low back, go ahead and come back down to the floor and you'll do your circles there. And I'm going for 3 to 4 circles in each direction. And switch orientations or directions here. Press into the right heel even more. We are almost there. Good. And then come all the way on down. Okay, I'm gonna stay in my figure 4 here with my left ankle crossed over my right knee. I'm gonna exhale, come on up into that ab curl. Keep on breathing. Rotate to my left knee and pulses here. See if you can find that oblique connection between right armpit and left hip socket and that burn. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way back down to the floor. Catch your breath. And then cross the right ankle over your left knee. Inhale, prepare, exhale, up into that upper ab curl. Rotate on your spinal axis to look at your right knee, and then your pulses here. Inhale for 2, exhale for 2. Hollow your belly button to your spine here. And last ones. Good. And come all the way back down to the floor. Okay, just a little bit more of our lovely ab curl work in order to get some stretch on through the hamstrings. Now I'm going to do one leg at a time. Start with your legs up towards the ceiling, nice and straight. See if you can get straight behind the knee. And then ab curl up and grab behind your right calf. Lower the left leg. It can be really small, it can be bigger. And switch. So how far down your leg goes depends on your core strength and your ability to keep the low back out of it. So not really a flexibility thing, but a strength thing. And we've got 6 and 5 and 4, really pulling into that calf to stretch out that leg. 2 and 1, even out right to left. Awesome, coming on back in. Okay, for our roll-ups, if you have a prop like a ball, go ahead and grab that. My legs are straight on the floor. You can bend the knees if that's a modification you like. Exhale as we come up. So inhale, prepare. Woo, a little sticky today. You can reach up and over. And then sit tall. Try not to be tucked under on the tailbone to start. Then you tuck the tailbone or pelvic curl, coming on down with control. Good. Inhale, prepare. Arms can even be overhead for a little bit more momentum. Exhale, up we go. Send those shoulder blades low and reach up and over. 2 more like that. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, up we go. 1 more, and then I'm going to change it up, add a rollover to it, okay? Exhale on up. Pass that ball between your knees. And then exhale, down we go, nice and slow. Pause halfway down, come up an inch, down 2 inches and hold. And then all the way on home. Lift your feet to the ceiling. And if you're comfortable with short spine and rollovers, we're gonna do one. If you're not, I'm gonna just have you do some more low ab work here with a little lift, okay? All right. Make sure you have enough space in your room and walls and that sort of thing. Roll over, pressing into my palms, up and over I go. And then rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time, coming back to the mat in a lengthened way. Keep the front of your shoulders open. Grab that ball, send your feet back down to the floor. Have a little fun with this one. Check your low back isn't arched. Inhale, prepare, exhale, coming on up. And then put the ball between your feet, rolling on down. 2 choices here. Feet come up and you can do low ab work, or up and over you go. And rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands come up to grab that ball. Up and over I go. Place the ball between your ankles using a controlled roll down. Up and over you go. Did that one much faster. And then coming on back through. All right, that's your last one here. Let's go into rolling like a ball. I'm gonna put my prop behind my knees. Hands are gonna grab onto the front of my shins here. Try and keep your heels towards your bottom. Rocking up and down we go. Only go back to that shoulder blade shelf. 2 more. And 1 more. Okay, from here, let's try it with our prop a little differently. You're gonna hug it between thighs and chest, elbows out to the sides of the room, shoulder blades low in your C curve here. And we'll roll on back. It's a little harder not to create that space to come up. Keep that nice tight ball. 2 more and 1 more. Nice. Okay, from here, you can put your prop to the side and let's do a couple spine stretches forward. So it's like a wine barrel or a beach ball is in front of us. Heels are mat distance apart and you're reaching up and over here. 2 more. And then let's take it into saw. So I'm gonna have my arms out to the sides of the room, go into that thoracic rotation. Left arm comes to the outside of the right leg, and then back to middle. This is our double pulse again. And don't forget that C curve. I don't want you just reaching forward. I want you to be in that curved flex spine, which is a result of making those abdominals work. And last one. Okay, from here, having my sliders nearby, I'm gonna take it into quadruped. You can use your yoga mat to pad up your knees. Do set your space up so you can reach your legs completely behind you without hitting a neighbor, furniture, or wall. And then I'll have my sliders somewhere near my hands here, okay? And we're just gonna go into 4 sternum drops. And then 2 sets of cat and cow. If you hit any pain points, back off a little bit. Keep your cat and cow smaller. Find the halfway point between cat and cow. Press your palms away from the floor, and we're looking for neutral spine here. Smallest of spine curves in the cervical spine and the lumbar spine. And we'll do right leg tail wags. Going quickly here today. If you know this irritates your body, keep it in a small, safe range of motion. And be looking over your shoulder, not under your armpit. Switch to the left leg, please. And back and forth. There you go. Find that lateral spine stretch. Good. Okay, go ahead and tuck your toes under. And we're gonna hold jackrabbit for a few seconds here. I'm gonna get my timer going. Okay, inhale, prepare, exhale, press into your palms, lift your knees. And 3 long breaths here. Broad shoulder blades that squeeze through that shoulder shelf. 1 more breath. Okay, bring those sliders underneath your hands. If you don't have sliders, that's okay. You're just gonna be moving your arm up and down here, okay? So with that slider, I'm moving my arm out as far as I can without disrupting my all fours outline. So I don't want to be going down to here. Keep that left elbow straight. Nice reaching motion out, and then pulling it back in through muscles under the armpit. Let's switch to the left side for 6. Abs on. Try not to let that all fours rectangle shift. And 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, and from here, however it's comfortable, just rest your palms on the floor. Let's go back with the right leg. This first rep, turn the right toes in towards midline and see if you can feel the hip going from high back to that all fours point, lower, and then bend the knee in. So every time you go out, you have that tool available to twist the foot in and get the hip back where it should be. We're gonna go 3, and 2. On your last one, hold it out here, okay? And then tap the toe to the floor and lift. Lift through the heel, getting the glute and hamstring to fire up. I don't want any low back movement. I want those abs on to keep your spine long. Oftentimes when that back arches, it's compressing the vertebrae. Okay, and then changing it up a little bit. So this is my right foot. I'm gonna tap it to the outside of my left foot. And then I'm gonna bring it back and out to the right. So it's a diagonal motion here. Okay, again, it's right foot, tapping to the left side of my body on the floor, then that heel leads me out to the right side of my body. And we've got 3, and 2, make it about the core. Last one, that style. Okay, now bend the right knee, reestablish minimal back arch here, and then lift the heel up to the ceiling. Really get that glute going, work on your neuromuscular programming. And we've got 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. I'm going to have you lift higher, pulse up here 3 times, come down a bit. Up and 3, 2, 1, lower. And up, 3, 2, 1, and lower. One more time. Up, 3, 2, 1, and lower. That leg straightens, comes back down, and your knee comes under you. Let's give it a rest pose here real quick. Give your wrist a break. Either massage them, shake them out, or do some wrist circles. Okay. Last one. Coming back up to all fours, checking your space. You've got enough room behind you. Now lift the left leg out straight, turn the toes into midline, and then bend the knee and bring it back in. Keep using that adjustment in order to square off your hips. And we've got 4, and 3, and 2. Hold it out here. Now with that straight leg, lift and lower. And lift and lower. Good. Recruit through the back line of the legs. Get that glute firing. And don't let the low back arch. You want a really stable lumbar spine. Abs are working really nice and hard. Okay, and now comes all this right-left in business. This is my left foot in the air, taking it to the outside of my right foot, tapping the floor, and then bringing it up and across out to the left side of my body or the room. Okay, and back and forth. Keep working that lumbo-pelvic stability. And we've got 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now pause here and bend that knee. Check on the low back again and lift. Little pulses here. Get that glute working. Knees got to be high enough to do that, but not so high you or arch the low back. On my exhales, really pulling belly to spine. Okay, now you're going to lift, pulse 3 times, and then lower the knee a bit. And lift, 3, 2, 1. Do a little check on your neck and shoulders so that you've not let them slouch or drop to the floor. And one more set of lift up, and 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Come on back down. Okay, from here, if your wrists are getting sore, you can be on your elbows. And I want you to think broad shoulders that engage so you're pressing away from the floor. And then I want to put the sliders under our feet. So for me, that means moving my mat out of the way. Okay, and we'll go back to that plank position. So you can be on your palms or on your elbows. Lifting your knees, send one foot out and the other foot out. Let's hold here for 2 breaths. And knees come down, give it a bit of a rest there for a second. You can always shake your wrist out too. Okay, so my feet are still on those sliders. Coming on up into my plank position, bringing one leg in and then the other foot in underneath you. Okay, try not to lift and lower. You're outlining too much. A little bit of spine curve, flexion forward is fine. So that pelvic tilt, because I want to keep it out of your back. Okay, we're going to go 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Hopefully you're sweaty like me. Take it into rest pose, feet off of your sliders here. Okay, back to a softer place on your mats. Let's take it into some side lying. So side lying options are having a prop underneath you that you lift away from, or I'm going to give you a more challenging position. If you lay with, this is my left side, all on the floor, want you to see if you can do it something like this. It's a really big balance challenge. My legs are straight and in front of me, and I'm lifting and lowering here. Pick up a little bit on that bottom side. Want you to think a mouse can crawl underneath here. Good. 2 more. Okay, and then this foot is going to be hip height. Going to bring that foot forward, point the toe, and bring it behind me. Notice it's really tempting to sway through this midsection. I press my top palm into my hip, trying to sense when it wants to move and compensate, but really make it work. Pulse, pulse, forward, pulse, pulse. 2 more sets, pulse, pulse. Okay, and then check on those obliques that they're still working down here, and that's the last one. Okay, I love circles. So you're gonna bring that top foot a little bit behind you and create very small circles and add a pause. Good, and reverse, and pause, circle, and pause. Keep organizing this piece. 1 more circle. Good, okay. Now we're gonna lift both feet, work the inner thigh on your bottom side here. Notice I brought that top hand down to the mat. You can use that to stay balanced. Keep this about your midsection as well. We're going 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, from here, I'm gonna take my top leg, scrape it along the inside of my calf and thigh, kick up, lead down with the heel. Good. I get a little clicking in my hips, so I'm going to keep it smaller. For me, that's an indication that my femur's getting too jammed in the hip socket. So trying to find a way to activate the muscles without gripping. Okay, and then reverse. So skim your thigh out, lift up. Skim your bottom leg out and lift up. Total of 4. And last one. Okay. You can bring that bottom foot in front of, top foot in front of the bottom leg, get a little stretch here, and then pound into where the lactic acid might have built up. Okay. If you have shoulder issues, you're welcome to go back and say do more bridges or more side lying leg lifts. I want to take this into lifting into side plank. So if you feel like you're somewhere in the middle, you'll be on your elbow doing side lying lifts, but this is the full version. Okay, so I'm gonna be ready to put weight on this top foot. I'm gonna squeeze my inner thighs together and up you go. Camera angle is not great here. Okay, and up you go. Now bend your knees to come on in, really putting weight on this top foot and up. 1 more, and we'll hold here, okay? Square off the shoulders. It's tempting to come forward, and you're gonna look at your hand as you lower your hips and lift. 3 more, and lift. These are super tough. They're whole body. You're doing great. Just hang in there. And last one, both hands now come down to the floor and adjust so you're in your plank. Okay, and then from here, take it in to down dog or a couple of pikes. And back to plank and pike. Now pause here, bring that right knee into your nose. As you go back into that pike, lift that foot to the ceiling. Hopefully this feels familiar from reformer. This is your arabesque. And then that right knee comes into nose and shoots up to the ceiling. I've opened up my right hip. 2 more, this is the second one, so really just 1 more, pause here, and then lift that top foot from the glute for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring that knee in, and then place the right foot back on the floor, bring the left knee in. And we're gonna shoot it up to the sky as we go into our pike. Bring that knee towards your nose, and up. 2 more like this. And 1 more, pause up here for those pulses. And pulse, pulse, pulse. 5, 4, 3, keep on breathing. And that's your last one. Okay, you're gonna come down to your knees. We're gonna get ready to do those side lengths to the other side. So again, you can be down here if that's too much on your shoulder, or you can get started with side lying leg work here. Okay, for the rest of us, I have a lot going on in the serratus. I'm really getting that bottom line of my shoulder blades to work. Inhale, prepare. This, keep breathing. We're not gonna go up quite yet. This front foot is my top foot, and I'm gonna be weight bearing on that, more so than the back one, but whatever you need to do. I'm gonna work my inner thighs as I go up, okay? And back down, bend those knees. Squeeze the thighs together and up, and down, and one more. Okay, and then you'll pause here, readjust, get yourself squared off. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. Okay, and then I'm gonna look at this hand as I lower and lift. For me, big strength difference here. This is harder on this side. One more, and then bend and come down. Woo, tough stuff is done there. Okay, so from side lying, I'm lying towards the back of my mat. My feet are in front of me here. One line, ear to hips. And I'm just gonna start with lifting. That top hand is keeping my hip pressed away from the ribs. And then I've picked up this bottom side a bit, so a small mouse or some sort of bug can crawl under. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and then from here, we lifted hip height and come forward, kick twice, and behind us, kick twice. I'm going pretty slow or else I get a lot of drama in my midsection and it's swaying, it's going into my back. So if I keep it nice and slow, I can stay organized. And for me, when this hip hikes, that's when I lose it. That's when everything goes into my low back and I become like Jello. One more set. And then you can pause back here and do those circle pauses. Yeah. Point or flex, just choose something that's intentional. Last one, this direction and reverse. Circle pause, circle pause. Retone up on that bottom side. Awesome. Okay, couple little pounds there. And then we trace the inside of that bottom leg and lift. Trace, kick out straight. As I'm tracing, this hip wants to come in, resist it, and out. It's when the obliques have to work and get stronger. Reverse, so trace your inside of your bottom leg, and then up, bend in, and trace. 2 more. Last one. Okay, from here, you lift both feet. So top hand can be in front of you or on your hip. No, that doesn't work. It's just too hard. For 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. That front foot can get stretched in front of your bottom leg, and you can find that glute stretch in the top here. Okay, from here, I want to take us into prone. This one you need quite a bit of wingspan for the legs and for the arms, and then for the sides of the room here. Okay, the arms are going to start overhead, and you're going to lift your palms from your shoulder blades, not from your neck. Think the arms belong to the mid back here. And we're going 4, 3, 2, 1. And remember all those lectures I've given you guys about pulling your belly button to spine up and away from the floor? We're going to keep doing that while we lift arms or we lift legs. So exhale, lift the feet. Inhale, lower. Exhale, pull belly to spine and lift the feet, okay? And we've got 5, 4. If you're getting low back feedback, don't lift as high, and double your work through your tummy. And then lift and hold. Open and close the feet. I have my toes turned out here. For 5 and 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Stretch those arms back overhead. Lift right arm and left leg. Still pulling belly to spine, but I'm inhaling one direction, exhaling the other. One more set like this. And then I invite you to move it into harder territory with pulses. If it's in your low back, go back to this lower version. And we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna come on up to standing and we will use the sliders. So change your space so you have a stable and slippery surface. Stable for one leg, slippery for the other. Good time for a drink of water and checking the heart rate. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got 15 minutes. So you really only need one slider at a time. Sorry, I think my head's gonna get cut off at different times here. All right, I'm gonna start with my right foot, the slider at the ready. What's that? Okay. And then I'm gonna just start with a little bit wider feet than shoulder distance and going into that flat back squat, okay? So I'm not in a C curve. It's one line from ear to hip bone. If you have like a stick around you or your yoga mat, this is always a very humbling litmus test. Not to let the thoracic spine bow off of your broomstick or your mat and that your head is in that chin nod, okay? As you stand up, think using these back line of the leg muscles. And then we're gonna pulse. 3, 2, 1, and up. And 3, 2, 1, and up. 2 more sets. 3, 2, 1, press through the heel. Last set of triples and up. Okay. We're gonna go into that squat. The right foot is on your slider. Slippery socks also work if you're on the hardwood floor. And then out and in, and out and in. Think a speed skater when you're standing on the reformer there. And I'm in parallel here. 2 more. Good. Stand when you come in. Turn both sets of toes out. Widen the feet so it's a healthy squat going down. And then in and out like speed skater here. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now the left leg gets the joy. It's really the standing leg that does most of the work. So if you're feeling the fatigue on the left side there, that's why. Going back down into that squat, sending the left leg out. I'm also asking this VMO to work here and stabilize the knee, so I'm not going in and out. Trying to keep this knee over the first and second toe up to the hip bone here. And I'm in parallel. We've got 2 and 1. I need a little shake out, turning the toes out here. I'm gonna add on some arm work. Feel free not to do it. Back down and out and in, out and in. Good. 4, 3, 2, feeling the burnout here. I'm gonna add on 1 more. Good. All right, let's take it back to the right leg. And I'm gonna go into a sliding squat. VMO is working. Toes, middle of the kneecap and hip bone are all lined up, come to standing. And you can keep with that arm work if you want. And we've got 6 more. Feet are in parallel, 5. This is 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna pulse down here though. Okay, everybody with me? Pulse, pulse, pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming on home. Nice. Let's move that back to the left side. Arm work will be tricep presses here. And like we do in class, you're always welcome to add those little barbells 1 pound does it for me. All right, so when I go into that sliding squat, this side is all nice and lined up. Don't let that knee come in or out, okay? And then up we go. And we've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, pause it down here, and we pulse, and we pulse, and we pulse. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. All right, come on in. I'm gonna turn sideways, but the slider is now under my right foot, and I'm gonna go into some lunges. Here may be fine for you, or here. I'm gonna take it bigger, so just know it's an invitation, not a requirement. Bending both knees, coming on in, and out, and in. This leg's working harder. I notice the knees wanting to wiggle in pretty big. So working that VMO, stay stabilized over the center of my ankle, first and second toe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Couple of prances here. All right, now it's under my left foot, going for my 8 here. You can even extend the left arm forward as you go down. Lost my slider there, and out. Now I'm very worried about the right knee, not worried, but concerned about my alignment. This is 3, 2, and 1. Okay, if you have your squishy balls, they'll be really helpful for this next one. If not, don't worry about it. I'm gonna have you start with hugging that ball and start with this knee behind your standing leg. Very, very important, this standing leg is bent. It'll go into your low back if it's straight, okay? And this heel is underneath the pubic bone. I'm not way back, I'm not way forward, okay? And then I'm gonna tip forward in a flat back, abs are on, and lift this shape up. I usually don't come any further than this knee, and I keep hugging that ball, and it makes this guy work a lot harder. 3, 2, 1. Staying in this shape, now I'm lifting out towards you guys, and this knee is always a bit behind this bent knee in front. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's actually my stabilizing side that's going, holy cow, why did we get out of bed this morning? It's really burning. So hope it's the same for you. Hope your abs have felt engaged and low back not so much. If that is happening, maybe I can give you guys like a 15-minute tutorial or something. So let me know what's coming up for your body. Bending this stabilizing knee, flat back forward, hip bones are level. This heel, standing heel is under the pubic bone, and back you go. Get this back line firing up. This exercise is critical in my glute coordination, because it would always go only into the hamstring and I wanted both. So it really helped me figure a lot out. Woo. 3, 2, and 1. Checking that you haven't gotten sloppy in your upper body form. And we go out to the side. Try not to let that hip hike. This is my left side, so I'm pressing out on my left hip. Woo, I've got 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, we'll stretch out here for just a few minutes. I'm gonna start with my hip flexor stretch on the floor. Now this can be kind of hard on the kneecaps, so feel free to roll up a mat or towels. So have that knee. My feet are hip distance apart, basically in parallel, and then I'm pressing forward. Feel free to have a table nearby or a wall to help balance you. And this is my right knee that's on the ground. So it's the right psoas and hip flexors that are stretching. I'm gonna lift both arms up, get a bit more stretch. 2 long breaths here. Okay, and then straighten out. Straighten that front knee and bring the toes off the floor. We're looking for that calf and hamstring stretch here. I want to find more stretch, so I'm walking my hands forward, using my C curve shape to come forward. So I'm not going forward with a flat back. Okay. 2 more long breaths here. All right, and then we're gonna switch legs. I have to say that's pretty close to a workout that I do on my own, on my hard leg day. Maybe I'll do some free weights with squats, going into the hip flexor stretch here first, if you haven't figured that out. So let me know if you're like, hey, this was too hard today, or I love being pushed like this, or you wanna be pushed more. I really enjoy working out with you guys this way, and I'm trying to think of ways to translate this into the GCC Pilates studio on our Wednesday classes. They're pretty similar already, but it's nice to have all this cardio. Okay, and then straighten that front leg and bring the toes off the ground. This is your glute and hamstring stretch. Try a double inhale, exhale, and then a triple. And a triple. Okay, couple options to stretch out the glutes. I want to say this is called pigeon in yoga, where you're here. This is awfully hard to find your way into, in my opinion. So you're welcome to lie on your back and go into your figure 4 here. I'm giving myself a little assistance by having my yoga mat rolled up. So either one. Sometimes I don't think it feels great to lie down on the floor when our heart rates have been up for so long. So you can be doing the pigeon pose too. One more breath here. And then switch. Press out on the knee that's bent. Bring the thigh in for more stretch. Okay, and then unwind from that. Let's come to sitting. A Z-sit is often what this is called. So I've got my right hand on the floor, and then my legs are bent and off towards the left. I'm gonna have you go into your mermaid stretch here. Always feel free to add on your foam roller. And then sit tall and counter stretch. Okay, we'll use the choreography from the reformer. Over side bending, rotate to look at the floor. You can stretch out a little further. Pull that belly to spine. As you come in back to the lateral plane, sit tall, counter stretch. If your counter stretch is here, no big deal. Don't push it too hard, okay? Inviting the QL muscle to stretch out, which is this guy in our low back. It's big, sometimes angry. Just notice it if it's too activated. Validate its experience. All right, and that'll be the last one to this side. Go ahead and bring your knees over to the other side. You can press into this left hand as you're reaching up and over. Really inhale nice and deep into the right side of your body here. And then you can rotate to look at the floor. Go where it's safe here for you in that rotation. Come out of that rotation into your lateral plane. Sit tall and counter stretch. Nice. And then back over to your other side here. Whew. Rotate, out, in, rotate, and reverse. One more time. Okay. And then from here, I'm gonna have you guys go into our standing roll down position. All right, do a little check here of what feels sore and fatigued. And then tuck the tailbone and come on up, stacking on top of your hips. Okay, one more time down. Let the head and arms drop. Try not to send your bottom backwards. Checking here at the bottom if you're closer to the floor. Definitely check where you feel fatigued or you need another stretch. And do that stretch maybe now, definitely before bed. And then tuck the tailbone and stack up one vertebrae at a time.